What's up, family? This is your local OG Juggalo here. I like to just give my whole opinion or whatever, and just what I know about a little bit of the subject when it comes to old tech. It seems like people have skipped past the whole Tech 9 interview period. Because it just seems like all they really talk about is the Violent J. From Violent J to the disc. Tech put out a diss track or whatever. It's off a Stevie Stone song. I think it's called Eat 2 or something like that. I forget right off. But in this song, well, the whole song, it seems like they're all dissing psychopathic. But either way, so you gotta go to the interview first, though. Within this interview, they was talking about the Juggalos, and Tech did kind of distance himself in his own way, and he did kind of disrespect Juggalos too in his own way. But Tech's smart. Some people can't process information and read between the lines. Not saying that to be an asshole. It's just the truth. Some people you just gotta be blunt to and tell them flat out what you mean, or they won't understand. They're not good with fucking hints or, fucking clues or whatever you want to say, riddles. But, so moving along, first he said he didn't model anything off of ICP for the most part in Juggalo culture. He said it comes from fucking like No Limit or whatever, Master P. Like, really, you gonna try to compare yourself to Master P? Who buys that? Who really? Oh yeah, I can see that. I can see he compares. He comes from Master P. You might have been listening to Master P, of course. A lot of people did back then. But to say you model yourself after Master P, come on, Ted, quit lying. But he just does that, because he don't want to be associated that much with Juggalos and that culture. It's one thing to get paid. That's why he says what he says in the song. You paid me to do a show. Come on. It's truth, but at the same time, he says that for a reason. Because it's like, if motherfuckers try to diss him, like, I don't give a fuck. Motherfuckers paid me, dog. You know how that gangster culture could be? Don't matter. That's why it's so acceptable for Tech 9 to sell out. Because the gangster culture is like that. It's just all about making money. He even talks about it in that song. He said, I don't need nothing. And it was almost like one of those moments, y'all ever see The Jerk with Steve Martin in it? I think was it Steve? But either way, where he's walking out the house, and he's like, I don't need nothing. This thermos looks nice. Well, that's all I need is this thermos. Then, he just keeps on picking up items. That's what that reminded me of when that Tech song, when he's like, I don't need nothing from y'all type deal. But the money, and the fans, and the music. It's almost like he freestyled it and was like, oh shit, wait up. I do need money. Because he said the grands, and the fans, and the music. Or maybe the music first, the grands and fans. But it is what it is. And what rubbed me wrong about him, too, on top of all of that, and that was before he dropped this song. Y'all need to go watch the interview. When he talks about the gathering of the Juggalos, he makes us look like white trash, man. Like, I'll just be honest. Okay, let's say if there was a drug bridge. Let's say, right? If you had love for the Juggalos, why would you really mention that? You know? Especially on an interview. He's smart enough. And then he sits there and he talks about there's a fucking lines or whatever for gangbangs type deal. You know, fucking girls getting gangbanged. I'm like, you know, it's just, I don't know, it just made it seem like he painted us like white trash, man. You know, it just seemed like disrespect. It really did. No, he could have been like for example, I went to the gathering of the Juggalos. It was a unique experience. Well, what goes on there? Well, you know, a lot goes on there. You know, people party, drug bridge. That's a acceptable way of saying it. You know, and the whole gangbang thing, I don't know about that one. Never really, to be honest, never heard about that one. That's a first. I ain't saying it didn't happen, but hell, that's happened at probably Woodstock and everything else. But the way he painted it, it happens all the time, like it's an event, you know, type deal. But either way, he was just painted us in a bad picture, man. Made us look like white trash, in my opinion. And then when he was talking about the Willy Wonka tour, well, Wicked Wonka tour, and he said his first stop was Cleveland, and when he went on stage, everybody turned their back on him, right? Which that's almost saying that juggalos are closed-minded. Like, I'm just curious. I wish the one dude would have got in more with it. Why do you think they turned their back on him? Because I'd like to hear what Tech Nine says about that. Because Tech Nine's funny. To know Tech Nine, you would actually have to, I don't know, read some of his interviews, because I don't think he's actually said some of this stuff on camera. Like, there's this one report from like Urban something, I forget what it is, but within this report, he talks about how he's been doing a lot of studying because he wants to try to bring in more of a black audience. Imagine if Violent J, like, really think about this. Imagine if Violent J audience was predominantly black. And in an interview, he said he's been studying so he can mainly bring in a white Caucasian audience. Liberals' heads would fucking blow. You know, and like, just people would fucking mass pandemonium. Hell, ICP can't be positive and they catch flack for it. Could you imagine them saying something like that? Like, you know, we like everybody, but we want to bring more white people in. People would fucking flip a fucking script, dude. Period. It's just funny. But either way, then he talked about two of them. Cleveland was one. And any juggalos out there from Cleveland, I would like to hear if this happened or not. Because, see, I live in Columbus, Ohio. Was another one that supposedly this happened on. And here in Columbus, Ohio, it never happened. Never. I've been to actually a lot of concerts here in Columbus, Ohio, and I've never seen juggalos turn their back on people like that. You know, and I've seen some not really good stage shows, you know, but people didn't really, I don't know. It's funny that I call him in a lie, and people could believe me or not, but I live in Columbus, Ohio. That's where I live. I go to a lot of ICP concerts, and I happen to be at that one, and no one, this mass turning of backs didn't exist. I didn't see it. I didn't notice it. But, you know, like I said, I'm not going to ramble on. It is what it is. Much clown love, motherfuckers.